Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk About House. I'm Todd.
I'm Juana.
Okay, we are going to do an update to the Las Vegas real estate market. This is the second one we've done in May.
Okay.
Yeah, we did the one at the very beginning of the month. We do these every week. Why do we do them every week?
Because you like to do them.
I love to do them. Our fans like them every week. And it gets us kind of, especially certain times of the year, when the market's actually doing stuff interesting. Okay. You can sort of watch it happen. And then the other thing that we do is we just specifically pick Las Vegas single-family homes. So that way we don't have other types of thing that interfere. We just pick this one thing and we can watch it change. And then in general, the rest of the market's doing the same, right?
Correct.
Okay. Let's jump in. Oh, hey, first of all, if you like Las Vegas, if you like real estate, all our other videos are just generic real estate. We have over 1,300 of them. So feel free to like the video, subscribe, share the video so that you can watch all the rest of our other 1,300 videos. Special prize at the end of the year if anybody actually watches all the videos. We don't know what it is yet, but we'll figure it out. Okay. Let's start with this first thing, Market Action Index. It's at 50.
Okay.
That's the highest we've seen it in 2 years. Last time it was this hot was 2 years ago.
Right.
What does that even mean? And because it goes from 0 to 100, but the difference between a buyer's market and a seller's market is 30. That's kind of a goofy thing, right?
It is a goofy thing. I don't know why they do that, and I can't explain that. But what I can say is that 50 is actually a pretty strong seller's market. So if you're a seller, it's a good time to sell. Shameless plug, if you're interested in selling your home in Vegas or anywhere else, please consider using our services. Please contact us and we'll be happy to help you. So going back to seller's market, it is a seller's market. That means that buyers are chasing fewer properties, right? It means that there are not enough properties for all the buyers out there that are looking, and sellers have an opportunity to do well when they sell their home. Yeah, the actual quote thing, it says here, the median list price is $580. That's right around the median sale price too. Market Action Index is hovering around 50. This is an increase over last month's index of 40. Inventories increased to 2241. We'll talk about inventory. I got a big chart on that. Home sales continue to outstrip supply. That's really what's happened for the last year. More sales are happening basically as homes come on the market, right? Okay. Right. Let's jump over here because we talk about this Market Action Index. I want to show you this chart, Market Action Index. So there's an interesting thing that happens. Now, this is very granular. Every one of these little tick marks is like a week. And you can see, so it changes like a lot in here. And you can see on this that every time like the thing kind of moves up or it kind of moves down. This is how like hot the market is. This is just a measure of how hot the market is. Remember, this is just for Vegas. But you notice that when it starts to spike a lot, right, that it changes direction. Why is that? Like, why does the market get volatile? Because this measures literally like 10 different things. And why does it start to see stuff happen when the market sort of rolls over and goes the other way? Either maybe prices going down a little bit or inventory increasing for a long period of time. It kind of reminds me of Mary Poppins. A change in the wind and she's leaving.
Right. Okay.
So it kind of reminds me of that. It's that sort of thing. There's a change in the market. So when there's a change in the market, you have turbulence, and that's usually a good weather vane for a change as far as whether it's prices or inventory. I think part of what's happening right now is the seasonality of it because we're at the tail end of the spring. So that's part of what's happening. The other part that maybe isn't quite showing up yet because it's just so recent. The Fed said last week that they were considering 2 interest rate reductions for the balance of 2024, and that could be anticipated in some of this, or it just could be noise. I think that it's just right now. I think it's mostly noise and the change in season. But as the next few weeks progress, I think we'll see a more definite direction to the market.
I really liked that you made a reference to meteorological, specifically when you talk about a change in the winds and turbulence, because that's exactly what turbulence is. There are no air pockets. It is changes in relative wind at different altitudes, and that's what causes turbulence.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this because some of you know I flew fighter aircraft in the Marine Corps, in jet aircraft. I have over 10,000 hours flying, piloting jet aircraft of all types. So I like that reference. That was like my favorite reference that you've made in a while.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought Mary Poppins was better.
I thought the Mary Poppins was pretty cute. It's pretty fun. So let's jump over here, real-time market profile, and look at some of these things here. Median list price has tended to increase. It looks like, though, it's sort of leveling off, maybe moving sideways here. This is pretty much a leading indicator, list price. Why is that?
Because list prices are forward-looking and sale prices are backward-looking, right? Because list prices tell us where the market is going and sale prices tell us where the market has been.
Median list price of new listings literally is doing nothing but moving sideways. So, but most of these are not your median home. It's slightly under the median home. These are more homes come on the market in this price range more often than higher price homes, right? So that's why the median price of new listings is less. Per square foot dropped $2. We will find out over the next probably 6 or 7 updates if this is the change to where it maybe levels off, if it maybe goes back up or goes back down, because we have some noise right now. We don't really know. It was 274 2 weeks ago, went to 276, is 274. This is not perfect. This does not mean this was the apex of prices. However, we may find out that it was. Like that was, but remember when did these homes that just sold for $276 a foot, when did they sell?
So they went under contract 30 to 60 days ago.
Okay, so going under contract today, you may or may not get this. Now, Juana, this does not mean that every single house, if you could just take your square footage, put this in there, and this is what it's worth, right?
That's correct.
If you have a 4,000 square foot house in the Ridges on 3/4 of an acre with a pool overlooking the city, you cannot just someone's not just gonna knock your door and say, look, homes are 274 a square foot. I'll just give you $1 million, and they'll say, I just paid $4.5 million for it. So no, you can't buy it for that, right?
Right.
Okay. And if you're in other areas, it could be less. This is just a median per square foot for all of Las Vegas.
Right.
Okay. Average days on the markets continue to drop a little bit. Median days on the markets continue to drop. Those are definitely opposite signs of it's a bad market. Right? Usually when these start increasing, 35 days for half the houses to sell. That's what it means. It means half the houses sold in 35 days.
So something I want to point out is that the fact that it's a good seller's market does not make it a bad buyer's market. Because if you're a buyer and you are able to purchase, then you're participating with the rest of the sellers in your home appreciation. So consider that for a moment. So if you're sitting there as a buyer saying, well, I wish prices would go down. Well, okay, if prices went down, would you really buy? Or would you sit on the sidelines more thinking that prices would go down even more so you don't want to buy? So my point is, look at your situation and buy the right house when it's the right time for you. Don't worry so much about the market and just make decisions that are appropriate for you and your situation.
Yeah. Inventory, you can see, is bounced around. We had a much better chart that I'll show you in a second here. This is, for the last 3 months, we've been within 100 homes in the MLS of the same market, of the same number. It literally hasn't changed. It's unusual. You'll see, when you see the chart, you'll be like, oh, that looks kind of weird. This has been what has propelled the home price in Vegas up about 8% over just the last 12 months. We're one of the top 5 markets in the U.S. for price appreciation. Last year, when people said home prices would fall 40 or 50%, which was kind of crazy because there's really nothing that indicated that was going to happen. That was just made up information. And then median rent, $2,300. Okay, here's the price per square foot chart that we showed you. Like I said, we'll know in a while. You can see that pretty much, except for May, June of 2022, when that was clearly interest rates going from under 3% to over 6% in about a 3 or 4 month period, and a massive panic of people to buy. That bump never should have happened. Home prices should have basically basically should have just been chilled out at about $250 a foot and just slowly crept up. They shouldn't have done that. That was obviously fake. What I think is interesting is the crash bros use that as, okay, this is what houses are worth. They've always been worth this, and anything less than this indicates a housing crash. No, they adjusted, and they, what was the word we used 2 years ago that people laughed at us for?
Moderated.
They moderated. Home prices moderated. This is an absolute what moderated means. If you go in the dictionary, look up the word moderated, you'll see this chart. Okay. But home prices are pretty strong. We're back at all-time highs. Home prices are, really, according to this, you would have never lost money if you'd bought a house and still have it today. You'd be up and you'd be pretty happy. Okay, inventory. This is the funny one. Juana, inventory generally is less in the spring and more in the fall.
Right.
Why is that?
Oh, for all kinds of good reasons. So springtime is buying season for a lot of reasons. One, because it's after the holidays and people want to have a fresh start to the year. Two, it's tax time, so people are looking at their financial situation and deciding what their financial goals are for the year, whether they're getting a tax refund or whether they want more write-offs or whatever their situation is. So it's just a time to reevaluate finances. Another reason is if you've got little ones, it's a good time to figure out where you want them to go to school in the fall. So people, again, are looking at relocating to areas where maybe they would rather have their children attend school. So all kinds of good reasons why springtime is moving time. And then we get in the fall, which all kinds of reasons why people don't feel that that's a good time to move. Kids have started school. You don't want to switch schools. It's fall. We've gone through the summer. Maybe we've gone on vacation. We've spent money, and maybe we're not so we're a little light in the pocket. So that might be a reason. Another reason is that holidays are coming up, and moving is clearly a huge disturbance to your family force. And so maybe people don't want to move over the holidays. So all kinds of reasons why people don't want to move in the fall. So as people who do need to sell in the fall, what they find is that there are fewer buyers. However, the buyers that are there in the fall, they do tend to be serious buyers because, like I said, they need to purchase something for whatever reason because otherwise they wouldn't be looking, right? Because I just said they don't want to be disturbed over the holidays and move over the holidays because it is disruptive.
Okay. With all of that, if you look at this chart, you'll notice all of those little humps where inventory rose to a point and went down were October, basically. A normal market here, the closest thing we've had to a normal market was all the way back there where it got up to almost 6,000. You can see we basically repeated that in 2022. We've not been at a normal market level of inventory for the last 5 years, with the exception of a brief moment 2 years ago in the fall. And you can see here the last entire year. Those two dots represent the last year. You can see that inventory didn't even get to like 2,600 homes. We have 22. Remember, I told you for the last 3 months, it's been bouncing around between 2,100, 2,300. We didn't get to 20. You can see that this is the data. This is the amount of inventory. We don't know what's going to happen, but we do know this. There could be a national recession. I mean, the government can't say, hey, we just figured out there was a recession the last 3 months. It will probably not affect Vegas. Why is that? Doesn't a recession mean every city has to have job losses? Like if every city doesn't have 2/3 of the jobs go away, that's a recession, right? That's what that means.
No, so recessions are, for the most part, pretty localized, right? So you have pockets like Las Vegas that tend to weather recessions pretty well. Generally, we don't choose to participate in them.
Yep.
And then there are other parts, that have booming industry and they're just not affected. There are other parts of the country that are more sensitive to recessions and not to all recessions either. So it really depends on what part of the economy isn't doing well. Because remember, a recession is negative growth, and negative growth does not affect all industries equally. Not all industries participate, so it depends on what industries are affected by and where those industries are located in the country.
We not only do we have low inventory, new home builders are substantially underbuilding. You can, if you call the builders and go, I want a list of all of your standing inventory that's closing in the next few weeks, they'll just, what will they say probably?
They'll give you probably maybe a handful across the city, not a whole lot. Because most homes already have accepted offers.
And here's the thing, for all the people who said, Todd, they're just sitting there not selling. Juana, if the new home sales office can't sell the house, and the house is either completed or getting very close to completion, what resource do the new home builders use to market the house?
So they will put the home on the MLS.
Oh, they're showing up on this chart already.
Right.
So Todd, I've heard there's thousands of, no, they're not. They would be in the MLS. The builders wouldn't just sit on them. They put them in the MLS.
So, I grant you that they will not put every home in the MLS. So let me give you an example. Let's say that they have 5 Model Cs, whatever that is. Let's call them Sierras or whatever. They won't list 5 of them in the MLS. They will just list 1. And then when people come to the new home place, then they'll say, okay, well, yeah, these are the 5 that we have available, and these are the floor plans, and this one has white cabinets, and this one has maple cabinets, and this one has, this type of flooring, and this one has the other kind of flooring, and so on. So they will do that. So you will see that, but that's not indicative of just because you see one listed, there are 100 behind them. Not quite. There's usually one, obviously, and then maybe there are a couple more, but not a lot.
Yeah. Okay. That was it for the slides. Juana, if you had to guess, if you had a house to sell in the next 6 months, anytime between now and October, you were indifferent as to when you sold it. You could sell it now, you could sell it in 3 months. Would you sell it now, or would you wait 3 or 4 months? And why?
So I would sell it now for a number of reasons. First of all, I would sell it now because I understand what the market is now. I do not know what the market will be in the future. I have a good idea, but I don't actually know. The second reason I would sell it now is because there are carrying costs to having a house, right? So anything from utilities to property taxes, HOA dues, and all, repairs or whatever else. So there are carrying costs. And last but not least, I like certainty in my life. I'm pretty risk averse, so I would rather move forward and get the sale completed so I can get on with my life.
I like it.
That's it. So if you would like to get on with your life and sell a home in Vegas or buy a home in Vegas or anywhere else, please consider using our services. We'll be happy to help you. Contact us and we will have a chat. Remember to like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video, leave us your real estate related comments. We love your comments, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Bye.